So welcome everyone to Continence Chat. This is where we endeavor to make uncomfortable conversations comfortable. My colleague Deanna and myself welcome you, and we would like to welcome our guest today, Shawn Anderson of Davies Drugs in Canton, Ohio. Shawn is the storefront manager, and Davies Drugs is an independently family-owned business. And as I understand it, it's the last independent pharmacy in Canton, Ohio. So welcome, Shawn. We're curious how long you've been in the business and how did you find out about Seni?
I had business for pharmacy ever since I was born. So I'm 61 years old. My father had an independent pharmacy in Canton. It was a partnership, and actually my father and the father of my boss at Davies were really good friends because that was a connection between the two of them with independent pharmacies in Canton. At one time, I think there might have been maybe 6 or 7 independent pharmacies in Canton. So now they're just down to 1. 2016, I started working here at Davies. So my other pharmacy, we closed up shop and we sold it. And when we sold it, the new owners came on and they got rid of all of us who were owners. And so I made waves and I contacted my boss here, asked him if they had a position for me, and he hired me here. So I became the storefront manager. We sell a lot of incontinence supplies here at the store. We sell a lot of attends, and I'm always trying to look for a new market of something new and exciting to put out on my floor. And our wholesaler is AmerisourceBergen. And so I went out front and I was looking to see like, oh, do I have space for Seni in my store? And I was trying to compare the prices of Seni compared to attends. And I just happened to look over the corner and there is my sales rep from Seni, Eva. And we started talking and I'm like, this is really weird, is because I says, I'm just looking you up now on my computer and here you are. So, and we formed a really good relationship. She's always helping me out. She's always here to help me with new product or understanding your guys' product. And so it's just been a really good connection between the two of us and for selling your product in my store.
That's wonderful, Shawn.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, you touched on, I think, a key point of where I feel our company is a little bit unique is that we've got great products. Mm-hmm. And I think that's 50% of the battle, so to speak, to get people into the right products. The other 50% comes from having that customer service experience and the education. So I'm not surprised. I know both Susie and I and the rest of our teammates adore all that Eva, our teammate, is doing out in the Ohio market to make those relationships and to be there when you need her. So that's kind of cool to hear from you. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm curious what you feel the biggest challenges are for customers these days.
I think a lot of it, the market has changed so much. It's hard to find people who care about customers when they come into the store. For me, I have always enjoyed elderly people. So when elderly people gravitate into my store, I like to find out what their story is. How can I help you? What are you needing? What are your problems? What have you used before in the past? Here's what we can have maybe to make things better for you. So I just think it's hard to find customer service anymore when you go out and about into the pharmacies, especially chain pharmacies. If you go to Walmart or if you go to the other pharmacies that are here in Canton, do they actually have people who will come out and say, hi, my name is Shawn, how can I help you? You don't have that. You do find that in the independent pharmacies.
Yeah. Super important. Do you find, Shawn, we do a lot of research and we've got a field sales team across the country, but we hear too that older adults may come into pharmacies. I'm curious if you have a story or if this resonates with you, that I may need an item at a pharmacy. So my priority number one is to come to that item. But secondarily, I may like the social aspect of I'm going to do something I feel comfortable. I'm going to use you as an example with Shawn, and it becomes more than just purchasing an item. It becomes a social activity. Have you found that with some of your customers?
Oh, most definitely, yes. When they come into the independent pharmacy, we know our customers. They come in every month because they have to get their medications filled. So it's easier when you see those people. Hey, I haven't seen you for a while. How are you doing? How is your family doing? Last time you were in, you said that your husband was having knee surgery. How is he doing now? That's the luxury of having an independent pharmacy, because you do get to know your customers.
So if someone's coming in and they're a little bit embarrassed about a new challenge, say incontinence or something else is their new issue in life, and they aren't sure they want to talk about it, they don't know how to talk about it, how do you navigate that? Can you get a sense that somebody is struggling and they're a little bit nervous, they're not sure what to say?
I think sometimes how you address the customer. Hey, if they're looking at a certain product or whatever, I just might go over to them and say, hey, I see you're looking at this. Do you have any questions on anything at all? They're sometimes slow of answering that question, so I just sort of let them go. I just keep my eye on them. And then I might come back to them later on and say, hey, I see that you're still looking over here. How can I help you? It looks like you need some type of an assistance. Well, then, when they start talking lower and they're looking around to see if there's anybody there close to them or whatever. Sometimes in some situations, when it comes to women, a lot of times I'll go get another employee that is a woman and say, hey, can you come out here? I think there's some questions she's a little bit more reserved of talking to a man about a situation. If I was a pharmacist, that might be something different. But I think a lot of times people understand my sense of humor, how I communicate with people. So sometimes that makes them more relaxed that they can talk to me. A lot of times what I like to do is after I get to know them a little bit, I just like to find out what their story is. Why are you in here? What are you looking for? How can I help you? I can do anything I can to help you. And if I can't find it, I'll see what I can do if I can find it for you. So it's building that relationship, and it's also building that customer to come back into my store in the future. And for me, I always say, if you can't remember my name, ask for the bald guy. He's the only bald guy here. So I says, that is our connection.
I know in a past conversation that you and I had, I felt like it's your humor, probably. Oftentimes it opens the door of communication for the clients. And I know you had mentioned that sometimes you like to tell them a story of maybe how you goofed up on something because you were afraid to ask. And just showing that type of vulnerability, I think, can allow the customer to feel like, hey, it's okay for me to ask questions. Right.
And I try to do that. I'm 61 years old. So sometimes being older, I come in as the younger version of an older person. Hey, I had this situation, I've done this myself. But I think it's just trying to make that connection with the customer to make them feel more at ease that, hey, you can ask me anything you want.
Shawn, I was curious. I was doing just a little bit of homework behind the scenes about Canton, Ohio.
Yeah.
And ironically, I noticed that it is the NFL Pro Hall of Fame. Yep. And I know recently Hall of Famer Deion Sanders had a challenging situation with incontinence. And I was curious for your opinion when someone, a celebrity, so to speak, shares information about personal things like that. Do you think that helps reduce stigma around incontinence across the country?
You know, I guess it's one of those things is you have to earn that trust with me and with you. I'm not going to share your story to anybody else. I'm not going to reveal what your name is, but I can use, is it okay if I use your story in regards to somebody else who might have that same issue? So, I mean, that's what I would basically do.
Yeah. I like that, because as you're saying that, I'm thinking you're our kind of people, Shawn, in the sense of very person-centered, individualized care. I mean, you just resonate that, which is super cool.
Yes.
So, yeah, good stuff. Susie, do you have another question?
I was going to ask this just out of curiosity. When someone's walking into a pharmacy, are there like the top 3 things they're going for?
I think a lot of times when people do come into the store, they're more going to go get their medication filled or picking up their medication. But it's just trying to help direct those people. I mean, I have a lot of areas where people can come in and look at product. You know, with Walmart right down the street, and Dollar Tree and Dollar General, you know, OTC items, it's harder for me to sell those products because they can go someplace else and look for it. It might be a little bit more expensive here, not too much, but it might be a little bit more. But also, I'm the one that's going to give you the information that you need. Hopefully, you don't take my information and then go someplace else and buy it for cheaper. But I do think, you know, that, you know, when the customers do come in, they're coming in for a reason. This is why they're coming into our store.
Right. Well, I think they're probably coming in to have conversations with you as well, because I would enjoy meeting someone with your personality, your humor, your warmth, and that comforting tone if I was going to a pharmacy and I needed help. So kudos to you, Shawn.
Thank you.
I'm grateful that you had a few minutes to be with us today to share a little bit about what you're doing and how you're making a difference in the lives of your customers. So thank you.
Yep. We strive to do the best for our customers.
Yeah. We appreciate you, Shawn. Thanks so much. Thank you to our listeners.
I do have to say one thing though for you. I do have your product up in the front of my store. So it's one of those things when people do come into the store and they see your product, my sales for Seni has skyrocketed more so than what people are buying the attends. People who do come in, I see them almost every month rebuying what they purchased before. I've even asked them, can you tell me how you like the product? We love the product. We love the product. So kudos to you guys for having such a great product that the customers are liking.
Well, we'll say thank you again. Thank you to our listeners, and we'll catch everybody next time on Continence Chat.
Awesome. Have a great day, people.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.